Hi YouTube, welcome back to another YouTube video by me, ᴍᴜ and today I'm going to be talking about the biggest university culture shocks.
1 a.m. eyes closed, I'm slowly falling.
We're starting off strong here with the first thing that is very different from high school, and that's what most of these culture shocks are for me, is just, coming from high school into university, you expect it to be kind of similar. No, not really. It's not really the same at all. The first thing is that there is no bell. You know how there's like bells for, I was gonna say recess, but that's not in high school. Bells for just like at the end of every like period or class or whatever, or lunchtime, there's like a bell that rings to signify that so people know. In university, because the schedules are so different and weird and everybody has classes during other people's like time that they have lunch, there's no bell. Another weird thing, there's no designated lunch period either. So university students are just supposed to like find time to eat, which is crazy because sometimes you have 3 classes back to back to back and they're all like 2 hours long, and then you're hungry the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's very very much there's no lunch periods, and there's no bells to indicate any sort of time. So in that sense, you're very independent. You have to have a watch, you have to keep track of time and know when to study, when to eat food so you don't die, and when to go to class so you don't miss class. Crazy. Another thing that's different from high school, I don't know if your high school had this, but at my high school, we weren't allowed to wear hats inside the school. And I think it was for like security reasons, so security cameras could identify people. And obviously if you're wearing a hat, it kind of hides your face. So that's their reasoning, I guess, for the rule that we couldn't wear hats in school. But in university, no one cares. You can wear a hat, no one's gonna stop you. That's another thing. There's no real kind of authority at university. In high school, let's say you're running in the hall, there's like hall monitors or teachers or whatever who are gonna be like, hey, don't do that, and then you get sent to the office, blah blah blah. University, no one really cares. I cannot tell you how many times I just walk by people doing shenanigans that in high school you would have gotten in trouble for. But here, again, we're all adults and we're all supposed to know how to act. And so no other adult is going to come tell you how to be an adult. I wish they would, because I would love to know how to be an adult. But so yeah, you can't really get in trouble for things, and you don't really go to the office for anything. Like the real big punishments are being expelled from university, and that's for like academic dishonesty and cheating and stuff like that. If it does get like serious, like let's say there's a fight, in high school, like, well, I'm not sure how that would go down in high school, but I'm pretty sure like you go to the office still and get expelled or suspended or whatever. In university, if there's a fight, they're just gonna call the cops, and then you're an adult, you deal with whatever you're gonna get. So yeah, that's another thing, is not only are you independent, you're also treated like an adult, which is really nice, but also really weird coming straight from high school and seeing things that you thought were normal, but now you're like, wait, that's not normal. Let's talk about freedom. I keep mentioning this in a lot of my videos. Freedom as in you get to pick when you have classes, what courses you take, stuff like that. Also freedom in the sense that, again, back to the responsibility and independent thing, no one's forcing you to go to these classes. You're paying for these classes, so that's why you kind of feel obliged to go to these classes. But if you skip a class, no one's going to call you and be like, hey, there's homework, or hey, there's a test next week. Or I cannot tell you how many of my friends missed a class and then they didn't get the info that there's an exam or a test or a midterm, and then they missed that too, and then that really affects their grade. So show up to class. That's my biggest tip. But if you're into paying for a class and then never attending it, I see all types of memes and TikToks about it, right? Where it's like that one girl who shows up to write the exam but was not there for a single one of the classes. It's a meme at this point, but it's real. people actually do that. And I don't think they're the best. Like, if you really want to do well in high school, or sorry, in university, attend the classes that you're paying for. This isn't high school anymore where you can just skip. In university, if you skip a class, no one's gonna come at you. You're not gonna get, warnings or go to the office or whatever. Whoever cares about you in high school. That it's not the same in university. It's all about what you get out of it, and the more you put into it, like going to class, the more you get out of it. One thing that I thought was really weird is in high school, teachers use whiteboards and smartboards and stuff like that. In university, it's kind of like going back in time. We still use blackboards and projectors. Crazy, right? And I think the reasoning for this is because blackboards, it's like the contrast. White chalk on black board is way easier to see if you're like at the back of the room than a whiteboard with like orange marker. No one's going to see it at the back of the room. But black and white is contrasting colors, so it's more easier to see. I think that's the reason they still use it. Always in my mind, whenever I go to class, I always like have the nightmare that someone's gonna screech, like they're gonna use their nails and make that awful sound on the blackboard. Thankfully it's never happened, but that's my nightmare. This video is not done yet, but I just want to tell you guys to subscribe because it supports me tremendously and I can make more videos like these. Okay, we're gonna do 3 more things that I found as a culture shock in university. The first one being that in movies, media, TV shows, whatever, teachers and professors and researchers and whoever, they're portrayed as like evil or mean. That's not really the case. Like, sure, some of them are like unfair or have this expectation of you that's really unrealistic, and they do mark very harshly, but I don't equate that as them being mean. I just think that at the end of the day, I think everyone's reasonable. If you talk to your professor, if you email them, if you get to know them, they're not a horrible person. So usually people who say that someone's a horrible person doesn't actually know the person. Don't have beef with your professors, trust me. Speaking of professors, what really shook me to the core is the fact that in high school, right, there's kind of like this protection like around youth. Teachers in high school, they don't swear. The opposite is true in university. Professors are swearing like truckers. They're just constantly F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. It's crazy. The first time I heard an F-bomb in university, I was like, what's happening here? And everyone else like in my class was like older than me, so like they were just used to it. But I was like, what? But yeah, just get used to it. They swear. One thing that is a culture shock for me, but I was kind of used to it in high school. So in high school, you know how like you have certain classes and you see those friends in those classes every day because the schedule's the same every day, right? In university, since the schedule's not the same every day, you have peers and colleagues and friends in certain classes, but you don't see them every day. So it feels like you see your friend one day for let's say a Monday, and then it's not even till like a week later that you see them again, and it's like, oh my god, I have so much to tell you. You know what I mean? It's just, that was a shock to me, just how little you see your friends, but you make them, but you see them so ever so slightly little. So my tip for you is just get their contacts, text them, Snapchat, whatever you need to do to stay connected to these people, because again, networking, but also it's really good to have friends in university in case you miss a class and you need notes. So yeah, okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. There will be a part 2 because I have like this list. We're not even halfway down the list of the university culture shocks. Yeah, this is a very large list that I have that we're not even halfway through on. So leave a like if you want a part 2 to this video. Also, comment down below which one of these culture shocks was most shocking to you. Got my socials, and I think that I said everything. Okay, bye. See you later.